guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Ara, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 5 reasons why your new year resolution does not work. So not wasting so much time, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so new year resolutions is what everybody or usually have for the new year. You know, it's a new year, these are the things I want to achieve, this and that. But eventually by December or towards November, you see people already giving up or even forgetting what they already set out to do for the year, probably because the one they already set, most of them, they didn't achieve it, and with that it just really like gets downcasted and they're just frustrated. So I'm going to give you this reason so that you can know the reason why your new year resolution does not work, so the same thing will not happen this year. The very first reason is that you do not identify where you're lacking. So you didn't identify the areas at which you were lacking, so you just set goals for the new year without really like, the goals does not, it's not something that cover like a solution to your problem. There is no way forward. You're just looking, you're not treating the other problems you have, you're just adding to it. Like you're just looking at something else to do without really looking at the ones you've done in the past and look at where you were lacking. So this could actually kind of like be one of the reasons why you're not really kind of like achieving all that you've set for the year. It's just like you having a problem without knowing, you are showing symptoms without knowing the diagnosis, without knowing the cause of the symptoms, and yet you're trying to treat the symptoms. So eventually when you keep treating these symptoms, because the cause is still there, the symptoms is going to be consistent and permanent. It's not going to go away. So you have to identify the areas you're lacking. The second point is that you set too many goals. Okay, so just like air is important, oxygen is important for us to breathe, to function, so also is focus is to goals. So if you do not have focus, you may actually not achieve all that you've set out to do. Focus is very, very important to goals. When you do not focus on something to do, you will eventually not be able to achieve that thing. It is that you set out to do needs your attention, needs your focus, needs your energy. You have to do research, you have to put in some work, so all this is about focus. Oh, I'm looking at this thing right now, this is a problem I want to solve, and I'm putting all my concentration and focus on it. You will end up getting it. Just the same way you need concentration in class to be able to do well, to be able to perform well. Also, when you're reading, you need concentration. So it's more like you're focusing on reading because you want to have a good grade. So it should be the same thing with your goals. So you have to focus. So don't set too many goals. When you set too many goals, you can't focus on everything. Eventually you're going to get overwhelmed and you won't be able to do anything. You just feel so frustrated. Okay, so the third reason why you're not meeting your new year resolution is that you lose focus. Okay, so you already have plans for something else, and in the middle of the month or of the year you just switch to something else. So you leave what you already planned and set out to do for the year. So just like as a student, you plan to focus on your studies, and yeah, which is good, which is something you're like, oh, I want to have a good grade, but all of a sudden within the year you just shift your focus again to TikToking, to reels, to creating content generally. I'm not saying those things are bad, I'm just saying they are not part of what you've set out to do. So with all this, when you add those things to it, I'm not saying you're not going to do well, but for most in most cases you may not be able to perform maximally with the way you will have performed if you had only focused on your studies only. Do you understand? If you set out to do something that year, make sure you see it from the beginning to the end, from January to December, or whenever it is that you achieve it. If you achieve it within the year, then you can now go ahead and do something else. But adding other things that you did not plan to your new year goals is going to affect you, and eventually you won't achieve them. So the fourth reason why you do not meet your new year resolution is that you are impatient. Okay, so you are expecting change to be instantaneous. Change is not something that happens instantly, it's something that happens with growth. So you do something for 1 month, 2 months, you're not seeing results, and you just give up on it. Like, I'm tired, like you're not even patient, you're not waiting. It's just like seed and all this food that we eat. When they grow them, they give them time to grow. So you have to give whatever it is that you're doing time to grow, to reach that harvesting stage, to reach that stage where you're going to harvest and see the results of all your hard. Okay, so you have all these things set out and you just think that they're just going to happen all of a sudden. For instance, I'm going to use myself, and I'm going to use my, let me say, my YouTube channel. When I first started, it was horrible, but as I do the video, as I imbibe some new skills and everything, they are getting better, just like the way this video is better than the rest of my videos. So it's so, and I've been doing this now for about 7 months, so it's not something that just happened all of a sudden. So most people do not have that patience to wait for 7 months to see the results of what they are looking for, and that is one of the reasons why you will never meet that New Year resolution. You will never smash it, you will never achieve it if you are impatient. There is nothing in this life that does not require time and effort. So make sure as you're putting in effort to make something work, be patient enough to have time. All right. So the last thing I'll be talking about is that you give up. So because you are impatient, you just give up easily. You don't have to do that. Nobody gets any success by giving up at the beginning of it. You're going to have challenges, you're going to have your downtime, you're going to be frustrated, but giving up is never an option in succeeding. So whenever it is you give up, you're not going to meet that New Year goals, and these are the reasons why your New Year resolutions does not work. However, I need to ask that, how did you get your New Year resolutions in the way? How did you get those plans? Is God involved? Is it God that gives you those things? Were you directed, or is it just out of your own flesh? Because you need to know. Because another reason why all of these things might not work is that God is never involved in it. Whatever God is not involved in from the beginning, it will not see to it to the end, because He is Alpha and Omega, meaning it's the beginning and the end. So if you do not invite Him from the beginning, don't expect Him to end it for you. So make sure you involve God, and be sure that all your inspirations and your goals for the year are what He has instructed you to do for the year. So with this, I'm going to be ending the video. If you like this video, make sure you click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye guys. You're putting in the hard work.